Don't even blink. Blink and you're dead. They are fast, faster than you could believe. Don't turn your back.
And he's been an unbelievable Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. I think you're better than Martin Luther King.
I've gotten to know him. He's outstanding.
Donald Trump and Mark Robinson. They're both.
Remember to click like, subscribe, the bell notification, and whatever else YouTube has you clicking on to support us. What's up, everyone? I am the Kaiju no Kami from the Toku and Animation News Network, and today Halloween month continues with a look at Ju-On The Grudge. The Ju-On series started off as 2 shorts that led into a pair of direct-to-video movies. The movies are centered around a cursed home haunted by the Saeki family. The Saeki family is made up of an abusive, jealous husband named Takeo, his wife Kayako, and their son Toshio. Takeo murdered Kayako and Toshio, along with the pregnant wife to a teacher Kayako was in love with, before Kayako's ghost came back for vengeance. Now, anyone who enters their house is doomed. Doomed. You're all doomed. 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 You're all doomed. One of the things I love most about this series is how it just revolves around random people who may or may not know each other being stalked by one of the Saeki family just because. Even more intriguing is that there is no known solution to stop them. You're just screwed. This notion does make it hard for some viewers to digest, but not every story needs to have a happy ending. So I'm glad Ju-On is there to provide just that. Anyway, after the success of the Curse duology, creator and director Takashi Shimizu was offered the chance to turn Ju-On into a theatrical film and immediately jumped at the opportunity. Instead of remaking his Curse films, he chose to just continue the story of the Saeki family onto another batch of unsuspecting innocents. Even better, both Takako Fuji and Takashi Matsuyama reprised their roles of Kayako and Takeo, while Yuya Ozeki took over Toshio. Does Ju-On The Grudge's bigger budget allow Shimizu to create an even creepier experience than what he offered on the Curse movies? Or should this one have stayed on VHS? Watch to find out. The characters and plot. As I already stated, Ju-On revolves around a variety of characters, each with their own narrative. Now, that is not to say there is not a major player who does help connect the stories together. The first Curse movie had Toshio's teacher, while the second film centered on a realtor and his family. Our major player in The Grudge is caretaker Rika Nishina, played by Megumi Okina.
Hi, もしもし西名です。もしもしリカ？マリコ。今日はごめんね。
Rika is sent to the Tokunaga residence because the usual caretaker seems to be missing. Her job there is to take care of the ill mother, who is an invalid. Rika enters their home to find it a mess, with only the mother there alone.
私高橋の代わりにお手伝いできました。西名リカと申します。
She cleans the mother up when she starts to hear some strange noises coming from the upstairs. It is there that she discovers Toshio and immediately calls her boss. However, something else lurks in the house as she finds a shadowy figure approaching the mother.
What's that in the mirror or the corner of your eye? What's that footstep following but never passing by?
From here, we enter our next story, which focuses on Katsuya Tokunaga, his wife and mother. Toku fans should instantly recognize Katsuya as he is portrayed by Kamen Rider Ryuki, Gamera the Brave, and Garo the One Who Shines in Darkness star Kanji Suda.
Kazumi?
Shiri Matsuda is his wife Kazumi.
無駄無駄。お母さんよその人にはやたらと愛想いいんだから。
はいはい。
Kazumi is constantly being woken up each night from Katsuya's mother running around the house. Or at least, that is what she believes the noise to be. Kazumi discovers that may not be the case. Katsuya returns home to find her nearly paralyzed on the bed when he too meets an unwanted guest. His sister comes over to have dinner with them and is confronted by a possessed Katsuya, wailing on about his wife cheating on him and how their child is not his. Days later, we are treated to Hitomi's story. Hitomi is played by Masaki Ito, who has starred in Densha Otoko and even voiced Q's assistant in the James Bond video game Everything or Nothing.
もしもしお兄ちゃん、さっき家の方に電話したんだけど。もしもしお兄ちゃん？
She tries to call her brother to find out if everything's okay when she starts to experience some weird phenomenon at work. She heads home after getting a security guard killed, only to give us the scene that freaked most audiences out because it showed that there are no safe zones from which you can hide from the Saeki family.
What the fuck, Japan? Just seriously, what the fuck? Are you now telling me that, honestly, the one safe space that I was raised to believe was safe from the monsters under the bed, the demons in the closet, and the monsters outside of my room couldn't get me when I'm under the covers in my bed? Honestly, Little Monsters proved it. So many others proved it. And you're just gonna say now, in your infinitesimal wisdom, that now Under the Covers is no longer safe. That some psychopathic ghost, who yes, admittedly was wrongfully killed, is now able to get us under the covers. It's bad enough that I'm even afraid to visit Japan because I don't know what kind of hotel room, house, apartment I'll ever fucking walk into and not be able to leave because, god damn it, I am now afraid of some psychopathic ghost deciding to haunt me in perpetuity until they kill me. It's bad enough I've lived that life. And I still kind of do with my husband. But still, nonetheless, what the fuck, Japan? You're taking away safe spaces. What can we rely on if we cannot hide in the bed under the covers? We now have to rely on other people? But even clearly this movie doesn't even give us the opportunity to do that because everybody dies.
The fourth tale features Yuji Toyama, a former cop who is the last surviving member of the Saeki family murders team. Two of the detectives, Nakagawa and Igarashi, who find Katsuya and Kazumi's corpses after Rika's incident, comes to Yuji for advice.
以前遠山さんが担当されていた佐伯家の事件について伺いたいことがあるんですが。
This ignites his fear of the house, and he goes to it with the intention of setting it ablaze. While there, he hears some girls arguing upstairs and a girl runs downstairs, looking in his direction, and runs off. The girls meet their end. Were those the girls from the end of the last movie?
何それ?
Kayako starts to chase Yuji. He runs away in fear in our story, then jumps some years later, revealing to us that the girl Yuji saw was his daughter Izumi. Izumi is distraught from her visit at the house, notably because her friends disappeared that day. She feels she is at fault and becomes a shut-in. Alas, Kayako doesn't give a damn about her hurt feelings.
Take me into
There's also an interesting TV report during the story that tells us what will be the eventual fate of Rika.
練馬区にある廃屋の天井裏で女性の変死体が発見されました。遺体は以前より行方不明になっていた介護福祉士の
Yuji is played by Yoji Tanaka, who has been in Godzilla Final Wars, Kill Bill, Garo Makai Senki, and the Ryuhei Kitamura film Alive.
おかえり。
ただいま泉。ママは
買い物行ってる。
そっか。早く帰らないとまた疲れちゃうぞ。
大丈夫。ね、ちょっとこっち来て。
Meanwhile, Misa Uhara portrays the older Izumi. Uhara has been featured in both the live-action and anime adaptations of Nodame Cantabile.
怖くて自分だけ逃げたの。だから。
As with the original film, our final story is titled Kayako, which swings back to Rika. Rika has finally recovered from what transpired at the house and wants to get back to a normal life. Her friend Mariko, played by Gogo 5's Kayako Shibata, is a teacher with a student who hasn't come to school at all, so she plans to visit the kid's home. Can you guess who the student is apparently supposed to be?
学校来ない子がいるって話したでしょ。その子の家に来てみたんだけどね。
If you said Toshio, you are correct.
もしもしリカ？もしもし？
Man, Japan is hardcore. They expect their kids to attend school even after they have died? Imagine if that was America. Each classroom would have like 45 kids in it. No! Oh, hell no! This gets Rika back into the house, and then the shit hits the fan. Overall, the film takes what worked with the previous entries and makes it even better. The stories and characters are all really interesting, and getting to see how they handle a stressful situation is quite haunting. The Saeki family remains as creepy here as they were before. Toshio is used very subtly at times, which adds to the scare factor. There's a sequence where Rika is wheeling an old man around outside and he keeps making funny faces and sounds.
斉藤さん？
It's not until you see a reflection in a window that you realize why he is doing that. The same goes for Toshio being under the table during a lunch Rika is having with Mariko.
どうしたの？あ、今なんか。リカ？
What's interesting about Toshio is there seems to be two possibilities for his purpose. The first is that he is a warning to the living. He shows up to signify that either his mom or dad are nearby, and that person should probably get the hell out of there immediately. The other possibility is that he is his parents' scout. He tracks down the doomed individual and leads his mom to them. Then again, it could be both, because it seemed like he was trying to warn Katsuya about his dad, while he was following Hitomi home to lead his mother to her. Either way, damn. Toshio is frightening without even doing much of anything. I also really like the sequence between Yuji and future Izumi, as it shows how there is no semblance of time in this house. Then again, I also like the aspect of how stories can be set at any given moment, be it in the past, present, or future. It creates a very tense situation. The film is very fast-paced and over before you realize you had been sitting there for 90 minutes. The effects and music. Giving Shimizu a better budget meant that his effects and music were going to be just that. Ju-On the Curse was full of atmosphere and suspense, and that continues with utter perfection here. But it's made even better thanks to 5.1 surround sound, allowing the sound effects to come from a multitude of directions. It really does sound like Toshio is running around the room when you can hear it from multiple speakers. The film grain continues to play tricks with your mind. The same goes for the outstanding cinematography.
Kazumi!
Another thing I adore is that Shimizu kept Kayako and Toshio painted white instead of going overboard and making them CGI creatures. Shiro Sato helmed the music for the film as opposed to Gary Ashiya, who did the Cursed movies. Sato's music gives the movie a very distinctive, ominous theme that confuses you into thinking the house is a nice place to live in when you know it is not. Your senses will then be heightened by his tracks to play when the Saeki family is on the prowl, as heard here. Overall, the music fits in perfectly with every scene that is happening on screen, as you know when the stakes are getting higher. Ju-On The Grudge is hands down one of the greatest horror films to ever come out of Japan, if not the greatest horror film from Japan. It is highly engaging, very entertaining, so suspenseful to have you at the edge of your seat the entire time that you will forget you even have a cell phone for the 90-minute runtime. Do not miss it. Check it out. Until next time. Bye.
I'm Kamala Harris, and I approve this message.